Here we are at my favorite garden center. First thing that strikes me is Sogo Vivian Sogo, or is it really? Identical flowers though, but not the variegated form. As you can see, leaf sets are pure green. But exactly the same flowers. Yes? And here we have the miniature, cheap Phalaenopsis. Always tempted to buy. As they all, many cases are fragrant, but look at the stem. Look at the yellowing. That will 100% mean that it's going to develop its stem rot within a couple of days, a week. Certainly after its first watering. Yeah, that always happens. So do not go for the ones with the yellowing leaves. No way. They aren't healthy. This is what I was warning you about, guys. This one it's got a badly infected stem. Always when they do not dry up fast enough. And when it's sitting in a shady, unavailable, neglected position. Yeah. Here's the Phalaenopsis Barcelona, a fowl with a trade name. The injected ones with blue ink. Here we got Magic Art. I got that one at home as well. Looks a little bit different though, but some more fowls. Fragrant ones. 2 sitting in the same pot. And for that you have to pay twice the price. So really no discount on that one. Another one. Loads of branching out to the stems. 2 in 1. Here's another one. Multi-honeybee. Got that one at home. For 1/3 of the price. So I'm going to leave that one be for now. But it's still a lovely one with the orange center. Too bad you cannot see the roots, as they're all wrapped up in some kind of halfway up pinkish wrapping paper. It would look bad if you removed it just to check the roots, but I guess I do that sometimes, as I'm the customer, and I want to get the fresh and healthiest plants available. And I'm not after any new LED lights, that's for sure. But I want to have LED bar stand. Yeah, I already have one for my paths. The LED lights that comes with it, optional. Thank God. €50. No way. Some good, ready-mix bark. Now we're at the new garden center. I forget to say. Not so many orchids, but they do surely look more healthy. I guess they arrived in the very same batch to the 2 garden centers located very, very closely to each other. But these are healthy. No yellowing leaves to the stem. Which I think is the most important detail to check for when buying orchids. It's not so very common that a regular Phalaenopsis hybrid carries a lousy root system. But watch out if you see a Phalaenopsis hybrid potted up in some kind of coconut husk fiber mix, whereas you can see only a couple of fiber roots. Then you should be paying attention to it really, and don't buy it or do a repotting on it immediately as you get home. We had a board meeting yesterday evening and everybody was so excited for spring to arrive very quickly so they could order orchids again from abroad. First and foremost from Swarta, Wickman, Lucke, Orchids and more. And Orchid Garden Poland and stuff. So I got triggered. Yeah, I did get triggered as well. I was telling, do not go in and peek at the websites. It will be even worse for you. when you know which ones you do not have and which ones probably will be sold out come spring. What did I do? Yeah, I went to the garden centers and got myself 2 new Phalaenopsis orchids. I did get the stand. The very same type of stand as I use in my kitchen area. So I was thinking about doing the same for these guys up here. 4 store-bought, supermarket-bought Phalaenopsis orchids. But they won't bloom. In order for them to create good spikes with an abundance of blooms, they will need a little bit more light than they are receiving right now, which is barely none coming in through that window. So, well, no. They need a better light source. Otherwise, I'll need to move them, put them somewhere else. But before I move this cabinet with my pals on top of it, it stayed here, next to the fogger. That doesn't come as any surprise for you, I guess, if I say that that was a lethal recipe for my semi-hydroponic grown Phalaenopsis. Virtually all of them rotted within a couple of weeks' time. And this area is a lot drier, a lot more light from the LED tubes as well as coming in from that window. Just to prove my point, Phalaenopsis Barcelona, the one you saw at the garden center. This one is reblooming now. Even started out with a branch. But look, there's a difference in strength, really. This is what some decent lights can do. And I'm not overwatering it. I'm cutting back on the waterings on all of my store-bought phals for the time being. So, this is a good spike, in my opinion. On the other side, you seem to have one of the most difficult ones, in my opinion, the pinif. Also a trade name. So prone to catch black rot. And other viruses, bacteria, spores, stem rot. Was on its way. Doing so, by that I mean dying. But I held back on the watering frequency. Didn't water all the way up to the stem. It gets watered no more than once a month, yeah? Good new leaf. No sign of any bad things going on down there to the stem. The stem is so sensitive to some of the, especially the named hybrids. The ones with trade names, not sure why. Quite popular, that pinif. And relatively difficult to get hold of. Another one here. Unfortunately, I do not have a trade name for it. I got it in July last year. I simply loved its flowers. Sitting in a very water-retentive media. A lot of peat moss. That's why I'm holding back on the watering. If I do water it, oh yeah, of course I do, but when I do water it, I'm not letting it sit and soak for ages. That will be very, very soggy for an extended period of time. And I will surely repot this one after it finishes blooming into a bit more airy medium. So, cut back on the watering. It's not always better with a lot of water. And do not try semi-hydroponics for your store-bought Phalaenopsis. I did that mistake. But yeah, they grew well for a couple of months and declined. I caught several diseases. And if possible, do not put them next to your fogger. Cool air fogger. No good
So
idea.
I did get a bag with some decent orchid medium ready mix bark. Why do I say decent? What's so decent about this one? This bag, I got it at the very same place, garden centre, a few months back. Look at the bark. Flat pieces. I don't like them really. They're not piling up right. They seem to be become a little bit too loosely packed, so to speak. They don't really seem to bond with the roots. Not too flat. Yeah, shitty bark. Might work for vandals and stuff, but I did find a purpose for the bark. Vanda Blue Classic. This is not going to be a Vanda video, but I just wanted to show you guys. I used the flat bark, as you can see. Flat, very soft pieces of bark.
And it's also been in it for a while.
This one is going to spike any minute. Look. So, shitty bark works for Vandas. So, Sarah connected the LED lights tubes. The shortest ones I already got.
So we're uselessly lying there in my drawer anyways. So I finally found a purpose for them again.
Very low voltage, and as you can see, we're connecting. That's great. They'll make do for now. I guess it's gonna fit perfectly up there on the IKEA Millspool cabinet. Just to distribute a little bit more lights. I think Phalaenopsis needs it. Here, stand. You can expand it to 1 meter and 30 centimeters as for up there, if you want. And hang a real heavy LED tube onto it. Yeah. Gonna be creative. Anyways, so I'm not gonna demonstrate that in this video.
And you can adjust the stamps height-wise as well as width-wise. And as I already did a video on how to install them and assemble them, I'm not going to repeat myself in this video. Last week I spotted a couple of new mealies on my files on top of the Millspool cabinet, so I sprayed them with pesticide.
So now, what now? Yeah, they weren't really responding to the treatment after all. So now they become resistant to the pesticide as well. So to get rid of mealies, it's quite a difficult task. Sometimes it's just better to throw the whole plant away and go for some new ones, but only cause you grey hairs. Yeah, it's the Barcelona, as you saw the other one, bought at the same nursery, same week, time period at least. Same, comes from the same batch, yes, same distributor. This one is doing badly, and the other one's not. Difference is lights. So, needs a repot. Haven't repotted it. Might be in there. The mealies. And to do so, I will need to dip border it a bit in order to get the bark off of the roots. But I don't like it. Not as the orchid is in this stage. So I will only go up there with water. See too that the stem is quite dry still. Yeah. Here's another one which has been sitting next to it, being neglected and all. Very, very dry. That's a good sign. That's great. But now, its leaf is dying. Yes? Might be affected as well. So, I'm going to repot this one. But I cannot see any mealies to this orchid. So, but there can be very, very tiny nymphs and eggs down there. Not visible. Ah. Yeah. I almost missed it. It's got mealies. It's going to be so difficult to get rid of. But as the plant's health progresses, the mealies will be less and less interested in going for this plant. The pest normally, in 95% of the cases, chooses the plants which are already in a state of decline. So keep your plants healthy. Good light and no overwatering.
Especially not in the winter season. Yeah.
Here's another one. The magic art. Yes, lost its middle leaf. Now it's looking better and better. Healthier than it did for quite some time. But as she's been sitting next to the other ones, she's going to be repotted. And today, dip watered. Up there. I assume the decline is due to lack of light. Or just bad luck placing an infected orchid amongst the healthy ones. And it spread.
There are two sides to a coin, as we see.
So, now I'm going to let them soak for a little bit so I can shake off the bark well. A bit of this flat bark I will need to use, since I do not have much else except for the bag I just bought, which contains quite a lot of peat. As you can see, I'll just show you guys. But some of the pieces are very, very chunky on the other hand. So, yeah, I will make a great deal here. Look at it. Peat. And a clump. Branches. Stuff. It's got everything, this mix, yeah? That's what we got. So, add a couple of pieces of the smaller pieces of this charcoal made out of leaf trees.
From deciduous forests, no harmful additives. So don't use grilled briquettes for barbecues, especially designed for barbecue. Yeah, no way.
And a bit of perlite.
Quite a lot of perlite, as a matter of fact. Yay. Snowing.
And a little bit of muschelkalk. Might as well have used the eggshells, the dried eggshells, but I'm out of them. This is what a mix is going to look like today. And too bad the perlite is white, as it will easily be confused with mealies and stuff, but, well, that's a chance you need to take. Might as well have used this mix for my Cattleya's. It's a perfect, beautiful mix now. It works for any type of orchid genus. So, next step will be what? Yeah, I'm going to show you guys something. Yeah, it's a beautiful little orchid. Doomed for the trash can so many times, but I gave it another shot each time. So, you'll be lucky. But this is an orchid, little tiny, fragrant, beautiful, yellowish orchid I bought from Hornbush. Yeah? You can see there are still a couple of eggs, a couple of mealies on her. Even though I sprayed it with the systemic pesticide. Not only once, but 4 times. Yes? And when she was new here, I did a video when I was putting the whole orchid, without bark, yeah, into a bleach bath. Just in case, as I couldn't see any kind of mealies on her. None. But they were there, as the whole collection at home was infested with mealies at a time. So they can be really, really vicious and hide. So it's almost impossible. If you got them, they will appear. So you're going to know which plants are affected and which aren't. And keep them away from the rest of your collection. They can spread at least 1 meter. So there's not much else I can do for this orchid, really. Except for manually removing them with a cotton stick or such. With some alcohol. But that can cause it not drying up fast enough and the stem could rot. So it's a good chance this one won't make it in the long run. But now she's here, she's fragrant and she's blooming. And she's also trying to branch out there. So, yeah. But it's really difficult to get rid of them. But maybe when this orchid reaches a healthier stage, she might get rid of them. Naturally. Let's have faith. Yeah, that's what I always say. So, a little bucket for the excess old medium, which I'm going to remove right now. I'm going to go for the healthiest one first. Of course, I'm going to disinfect the tray afterwards, after I'm finished with this orchid. But, just for precautions, I will. It doesn't cost anything to be extra careful. So, if I spray this pot, this container, I can probably reuse it. It's a good one, frosted one, I like it. And there's the plug, the famous little plug, which needs to be removed. Keeps the moisture for far too long. In a regular household condition. Yes. So, let's pick and peel and pick and peel and shake for a while and wash and soak. And I'll get back to you when she's finished. Yeah? This plant happened to be the yellow big lip. I think I bought it last summer from a favorite garden center. So, next step will be cut away bad, obviously bad roots. That's not functioning anymore. Only take up space. So, with a disinfected tool with alcohol solution. Yes. This one I wouldn't keep. It's halfway rotten. I don't care. It's got such, expansive root system overall. You'll see no need to save halfway dead roots. You see my point? They usually fool you. Being bad up there to where they come from. Comes out from the base and the pretty to the tips. So, but there will be new ones. They will branch when it's time to branch. When it's growing again. So no worries. So, the stuff at the end, cut away. They will only rot off to the bottom of the pot in case of some water accumulation, which there will be in some cases at a later point. And they will die off anyways. That's what I mean. So let's just cut them off a little bit. So now she's fresh. Not so much dead. I haven't seen a lot of, as we said before, mealies, but some are still lurking. There. How to get them out from there? Well, I would try this stick method. First, peel off as many as possible before I use any alcohol solution. The alcohol itself won't kill them off if they're on top of each other, so to speak. So it won't do any good. The eggs will be hiding underneath the female. Anyways, and I will still carry on living and developing. So, yeah. Now it's time for a cotton stick. And shape it a little bit more pointy. Alcohol. I can go down there and hit the bastards while we can. Yeah. Not so bad. Yeah. Any more hiding? Oh, not now. There might be. But we shall see. I'll spray the tag. Put it aside. Spray the pot. Outside. Inside. And I'm going to clean it, of course, before I put the orchid back. Same goes for this one. Yeah. Just stay there for a couple of seconds. Now, next step. Roots are quite dry. I only want to demonstrate it for you guys today. So they're quite dry. Dry enough for adding the 3% hydroperoxide. I've heard it's going to be great for, or shall we say against, fungal diseases stuff. Okay, so get this one right. If the roots are too wet, the peroxide, which is already quite weak solution, will be diluted. So it won't be helping much, will it? What about the rest of the orchid? I'm now going to spray it with my semi-systemic pesticide. Again, RDAP, which I found on Amazon from Germany. Still allowed to buy and distribute throughout Europe, so I'm going to use it as long as I can. Till the plants get used to it. Then I'm going to need to switch probably to my orange oil solution again for a while. And then switch back. Yeah, you need to switch back and forth between your pesticides. The ugly bastards will get used to them eventually. See my point? Yeah? So, I'm going to spray it. I will need to see to that the crown doesn't stay wet. So, I can just take a little cotton pad and see to that the pesticide, which is water-based now, is distributed well on the leaves. Here, it's a crucial place. The sides here. So, I even spray the old flower spikes here. As the meal is usually likes to be sitting where the nodes are joining the stem. This is a node. Yeah. So finally we're here. Finally we're here. What would I do? What would I do? In most part of the cases, this long root will die off here somewhere. But not in every case, so let's keep it. I'm going down like this in circles. Not too far down into the pot. For each watering, the plant will naturally be pushed downwards in its pot. Anyway, so you don't need to be down there. The plant. And there's a risk and a chance that you add too much water when you dip water it, so it will reach up there to the stem, over the, where the stem begins, so to speak, to the base, and that will be too wet and too risky. Yep. I have a tendency to want to lean towards one direction. It will be heavy to the side, but I can decide how I want it to look. Of course I can, but eventually nature will win, like always, which is a good thing in a way. Boop, 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 to distribute it better amongst the roots. Yes. So I think she's going to branch out her old roots very soon, so she will need the space down there. So I don't want to pot her up too far down for that reason as well. But as I said, the media will be pressed down naturally without my help eventually, so, and I wouldn't repot these guys too often. I don't really need all that much nutrients. This one might need a little bit to get it going again, so it's not in a way that we did this today, especially when she had mealies and stuff. Yes, here comes the crucial part. Lift and test. Yeah, she stays. She wouldn't have stayed if I tried it before I repotted her. So now, I'm not going to water her for yet another week. I want to let her sit there and establish. As we already washed the roots off, it's already been watered in a way, so I'm going to leave her be. Back with the spray tag, back into the disinfected decorative container, and up on the shelf you go. And I'm going to make a little note in the documentation for this orchid. Yes? So I know when she was repotted and what her roots looked like, and or there were any other issues going on with her, such as mealies, as you saw, and stuff. So that's always a good thing to keep track on. If you want to go back, especially for me, having a YouTube channel and all. Sometimes people ask me stuff and I don't remember, really. Since I do have 350 orchids, about-ish. I cannot remember what I did to all of them. So, keep track of them early. Otherwise, it will be a real exhausting task to indulge in when you already have 100-ish orchids in your collection. It'll be a heavy workload to document them all. So, change my mind. I'm going to cut off, yay, you heard me, all of the flower spikes. All of the old ones. Yes, with a disinfected tool. I don't care whether there are any promising looking nodes or not. They are gathering up here, the mealies. If a plant, or shall we say when the plant is strong enough to create a new flower spike from down there, in many cases it will be an even better one, as you saw on my Phalaenopsis Barcelona at the beginning of this video. That one she created in my care from the base as I cut away the old spike. Yeah? So no shit is gonna lurk anymore. And then we need to adjust a little bit. Here. A little zip tie to keep her steady. And a little bit of cinnamon to the wound here. And that's what I'm going to do with all of the flowers on this table today. Here's the Barcelona. Yeah? Who would have thought that the mealies were all the way down there underneath the bark? Yes? I'm going to try to rinse her off 1,567 times, these guys. But they will still be accumulating underneath, building up a whole new colony. So, If you don't get rid of them, look underneath. That much I can tell you guys. Well, other than that, help the root system, but it won't help the orchid. I will still call it a little bit better. And the stand was really adjustable height-wise as well. Just press the little white button up to the left or to the right. And you can lengthen the rod. So, I guess you're curious what the orchids, yeah, I got 2 of them, look like. So stay tuned for a little bit longer. Hope you enjoyed this video this far. So, let's see now. What did I get? Why did I get this one? I thought this orchid had a trade name. Yes, I really did. As I saw a trade name at another garden center, which I was visiting a couple of weeks ago. That's when I spotted this. Exactly the same variety. Identical flowers. For the first time. And I saw the trade name. There was a sign, which I thought belonged to this type. Love Sunset. Or such. So I figured it had a trade name, but it wasn't that orchid. It was one that was sold out, so we don't have a trade name. But maybe you guys got the name for it. Maybe there is a trade name. There oftentimes is a trade name for a regular store-bought Phalaenopsis nowadays, since then you can sell more of it. And the orchid itself will seem a little bit more fancy, a little bit more valuable. But why I didn't get the other one at the first nursery, when I first spotted it? Well, it was, the plant itself was quite lousy. Yeah, it was lousy enough for me not getting it. It's a stem rot. Some blackening to the stem at the leaf joints. Many times occurs already at the garden center. But not so many people spot it. Except for us nerds who needs to check them out thoroughly before buying. I very, very seldom buy a bad orchid. But I must say that I'm prepared for finding 1 or 2 mealies on it. Or stuff like that. As they always have mealies at the garden centers. On their orchids. As I mentioned before, they're not allowed to use pesticides, so the garden centers. So we guys gets to bring the bastard pests back home with us. Yes? But this one is decent enough. Not a huge plant, but well, a 4-spike one. Is a dendrobiums type orchid. And it's slightly scented, so that's a beautiful detail. It came along with it. Yes? So, a little trade name would be fine. Yes? Yeah. Quite decent price for being that garden center. So, here comes a surprise. As we were talking yesterday at a meeting about yellow flowers. Yes. And we all agreed on that we all love yellow orchid flowers. So, I just happened to find a beautiful little something. And I couldn't resist. Of course I couldn't. Yeah. What do you think about this one? This one was cheaper than the other one. This one carries only 3 spikes. Looks like a cross. Look, extending, branching out everywhere. This one is going to be in bloom for a long time. Even down there, that's not very common. Down there, well, all the way up here. So, and it's a very healthy plant. I'm not sure if she's scented very slightly, if that's the case. But look. This is a real bargain. I like her, I really do. Let me know what you think about her. And perhaps there's a trade name for her. This variety that you guys are familiar with, perhaps. But nonetheless, it's a beauty. It doesn't need to be uncommon to be beautiful. And what I do now, before I put them amongst my other orchids in my collection, is that I'm going to spray them with RDAP, a pesticide, and I'm going to see too that not too much of the pesticide, the liquid one, sticks to the crown here. So I'll clean it off with a little cotton stick, and I'm going to let them dry under my ceiling fan. Yeah, someplace near me, so they'll dry up rather quickly as it's nighttime and all. And I do not want to start a rodening process already. Or never. Preferably never, but you see my point? So that's what I'm going to do with them right now. So thank you guys for staying all the way to the end of this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. It will be very appreciated, yeah? And a little like as well. Always appreciated. Talk soon. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment. Bye.